I know that you were up in Scotland ahead of the referendum campaign, that you were there for a day or two, but I've just emerged from a week in Scotland, and I have to say that going through Labour strongholds, the strength of the yes vote in Labour strongholds, their despair with the Labour Party, the idea that you can still count on 41 seats in Scotland, that's history.
Well, I also said today in my speech, which I think was kind of very uncompromising, not only about the tough decisions we have to make, but also the scale of our challenge. I said we learned this lesson from Scotland and the local elections and from UKIP as well. People really don't like the Tories. They think they're completely out of touch. They really want change, to do things fairer in the future.
They're calling you the Red Tories.
To do.
They're calling you the Red Tories.
Well, look, John, there may be some people calling us the Red Tories, but a 50p top rate, a bank bonus tax for a jobs guarantee, a bank levy up in order to pay for free childcare, a national minimum wage to £8 an hour, and staying in Europe, not walking out of Europe for petty reasons of nationalism and party politics. Those aren't Tory policies, they're Labour policies.
Well, this determination for constitutional change, you've been bounced into it by the strength of activity north of the border. You haven't argued for all this before, and you even now don't accept that there is an issue to be resolved about English MPs voting, or rather Scottish MPs voting on English issues and the rest of it. You don't really want to see change of any great scale when it comes down to who is actually responsible for what parts of the United Kingdom.
We were the party which introduced devolution and parliaments into Scotland and Wales. We were the people who devolved power with the regional development agencies which George Osborne then scrapped. We were the people which introduced the London Mair in London. You're
the party that has had 41 Labour MPs in Scotland, keeping you in power to enable you to get on with English issues which you wouldn't have a majority for.
Come on, John, that sounds like the petty, narrow nationalism and politicking that we've come to expect from David Cameron in the last few weeks and the last few years, rather than a serious debate about a proper constitutional issue. We have a union which is complex. It needs to be held together and it needs to be fair. I'm with you for constitutional change, but I'm not for throwing the baby out with the bathwater. People for decades have debated that question of who votes on what legislation. If there was a simple answer, as you suggest, we'd have done it. But there isn't a simple answer, because the danger is, if you play this Cameron game, you end up with two parliaments or two prime ministers or breaking our union apart. There isn't a simple, easy answer.
Ed Baws, thank you very much indeed for talking with us. Thanks very much.